Okay, starting off, we're going to learn the back squat. Back squat is one of the, probably the king of all exercises, just because it's the best exercise to develop overall leg strength, but also people don't realize that the back squat also develops core strength and stability because you're trying to maintain the weight as you're descending down. There's a couple different lifting techniques for squat. In Olympic weightlifting, we teach the high bar squat. The high bar is sitting up on the traps as opposed to low bar, which is sitting lower on the back itself. So we put the bar right on the traps. There's a little shelf right there holding the bar to do the squat itself. And so to set up the squat rack, what you want to do is have the athlete walk up to the bar. And you can see right now that the bar is basically armpit level with her, which is a proper setting. You always, when you're squatting, you always want to take off, just like we'll see in the jerk when we teach that a little bit later on, that you want to have the athlete always take the bar and step backwards. Never come out of the squat rack walking forward, because when you're tired, what's going to happen is you want to be able to then bring the bar in forward to be able to rack it up. If you do it the other way, you don't want to be looking back behind you as you're trying to step back. Okay, and so to have the athlete do this, you want to have them get underneath. Once again, you can see the bar will be sitting right on the traps right up here. There's a nice little shelf that sits there. I always teach about a thumb's length away. This is the knurling right here on the bar. You want to keep it nice and tight, especially when you're doing the lift. You want to keep the elbows to the body as much as possible and pull the elbows down to the side. That'll keep everything nice and tight. Have them take the bar off. Take 1, 2 steps back. And from here, when she starts to squat, the feet need to be about hip to shoulder width apart, toes straight ahead or slightly out. But when you're making sure you're going to squat, you always want to make sure that the body is upright as possible. What a lot of people do is they rotate the hips back, and then we call anterior tilt. The hips start pulling forward. You want to keep everything nice in line, nice and straight. So you're going to have the athlete take a deep breath in, look straight ahead, descend down to below parallel, back up. So when she hits that bottom position, she's going to hit the bottom position and drive straight up. So go ahead. Drive. Good. Breath out. Breath in. Good. Rack it. For your lifting technique here, just like we'll see in the Olympic lifts, you want, when I used to coach middle schoolers and elementary kids, I always had them ask what their favorite superhero was. And I always liked Batman, so I always just interjected them, said, Batman's the best, let's go with that one. Think of your chest, if you got the bat symbol on there, we're trying to call Batman. You always want to make sure that shooting out, that the bat light is shooting out to the wall, like you're trying to call Batman. Okay, if that light's hitting the ground, then that means you're leaning too far forward. You always want that bat light, that superhuman, that light shooting out straight ahead, that way keeping the chest out, and that keeps your body in the better position right there. Going underneath the bar. You can see right here, when she gets underneath the bar, you can see where it's located. This is referred to as a high bar back squat. Okay, not located down like a powerlifting back squat where it's further down. It's going to be up on those traps. So have her stand up, take 2 steps back, keeping that back nice and flat, chest out, straight down, hit that bottom, good. Making sure when you're doing this, keep going, you can making sure those knees staying pointed straight out and actually tracking maybe a little bit towards the outside, a little bit. Straight ahead, but slightly out. Okay, and then do one more. Up. Good, you want to go and rack it. Make sure that those knees stay over the toes, but then in terms of tracking, going out, straight ahead, a little bit out. You never want the knees to buckle too much in. So one good thing you do when you're learning to do the squats is for both front and back squat, have your athlete act like their feet are on tile and try to spin the tile apart, okay, without actually turning their feet out. That'll help keep the knees in line, keep them tracking the way they're supposed to go.